Well, hello and welcome to the Transits in You with my psychic connection. I am Squirrel and I am going to be walking you through all the energies going on through the week of August 24th to August 30th in 2023. You guys, I'm just going to jump right in because this one is a roller coaster ride. So buckle up, buttercup, because there's a lot of information for me to give you. I'm going to go as fast and as easy as I can. So, we're starting off this period with a conjunct between Mercury and Mars. Now, Virgo is not only ruled by Mars, but Mars is also exalted in Virgo. So, this is an incredibly conducive time for rapid thought as well as clear, concise communication. Now, Mars being conjunct here will really boost our ability to think about, plan, and put into action any entrepreneurial endeavors. Now, we do have to deal with a square between Venus retrograde in Leo and Jupiter in Taurus. This is a really good time to have some fun, but not so good for work. Now, the challenge with this square, obviously, is finding that even balance between work and play and wanting to pull ourselves away from play. Venus in Leo is the fun loving and somewhat self centered planet or placement, where Jupiter in Taurus is all about the money. Now, take care not to overspend because Venus in Leo tends to desire flashy, expensive items, and Jupiter in Taurus, in this case, can lead you to believe that you have expensive resources. So, combined, they can cause you to overspend and on luxury items, leaving you short for necessities. Keep that in mind. Luckily, we do have that Mercury to Mars conjunct in Virgo to help us rein in our impulses, as well as that beautiful trine between Mercury in Virgo to Jupiter in Taurus, giving us attention to detail with all things tangible. Nothing too hard, though we are all about sick of Venus retrograde right now. Now, that being said, that's how those energies should flow, right? Those are some not too hard to go with. However, the sun entered Virgo at 5:02 Eastern on Wednesday on the 23rd. Now that's usually a good thing. We should be switching gears from all the Leo pomp and circumstance to a nice even flow of detail and routine, right? That ability to focus on the all day-to-day criteria. But as soon as the sun transited to Virgo, it entered an immediate opposition to Saturn retrograde Pisces. That's a big ugh. There's really no nice way to look at this, okay? It can be a really difficult time because Saturn's all about challenges and restrictions that might hamper your direct goals and desires. So, regulations and responsibilities may get in the way of personal goals right now, forcing you to slow down and reassess your priorities. And it's really hard to be slowed down when you're on that steady roll. This is not the time to become mired in self doubt or insecurity. Now, with Pisces and Virgo energy involved with this particular opposition, this is a really big danger. Be careful not to become overly harsh with yourself. Maintain compassion and acceptance for yourself is important so you do not become mired by excessive self criticism or for other people. And as far as limitations go, this really is an opportunity to grow, to explore our limitations and analyze them in a way that helps us really see clearly which are realistic and which of those limitations are self imposed. Here we can find ways to accept those limitations that are truly there. Like some limitations are very real, but as well as discard those obstacles that we've placed upon ourselves or allowed others to place upon us. So, even though this opposition is really harsh and it's going to slow us all down, it is a really fantastic opportunity to see what's real and what's not real. The key here is to not give up when things are tough. Use this energy to build up your strength and your resilience, as well as to get out of your own way. Now, remember, while squares and oppositions can be quite difficult, they are challenges set into place so that we might experience growth. So don't use them as an excuse to say, well, everything's going wrong, so meh, I'm not going to do anything about it. Use them as the challenges and opportunities they are. Yes, it will be hard, but it's that opportunity that the universe gives us to slow down and take a look at things. And one more wrench that we get to throw that into that mix. Yay. Mercury went retrograde at exactly 4 p.m. yesterday. Okay. And as many of you know, Mercury retrograde can have a negative effect on communications, technology, travel, and business transactions. Now, it feels as if things are not going to go as planned and they can come across as really, really chaotic. Even the words coming out of our mouths might be like, and we'll have to reassess. So, as again, Mercury rules Virgo and is exalted in it, communications can be delayed, misinterpreted, or flat out halted with the opposition in the mix. Be sure to have all the information on a topic before discussions. And if you have any questions or misunderstandings at all, take time to calmly get everyone involved up to speed so that all parties are walking away with a mutual understanding. A good rule of thumb at this time, especially, is to rethink, review, and reiterate before you do something. Now, again, coupled with that opposition of the Sun in Virgo and Saturn retrograde Pisces, be mindful of how you speak to yourself and how you speak to others, but make sure you do yourself too. There may be a serious tendency to be overcritical or to be perceived as overly critical by others. Be kind to yourself and to everyone around you whenever possible, because frustration right now could be at a serious all-time high. You're probably already feeling that. Now, all of that particular stuff happened yesterday. I just wanted to bring you up to speed and know where we're starting that week off. Okay. It is still in effect today. If you're feeling out of sorts or thrown off track, the shift in astrological energies are definitely a factor. And I don't think there are too many of us that are going to be able to escape feeling that way. Because remember, the transits affect us individually as well. And some of us might not feel the effects of some of the transits, but these particular transits are going to affect, I'd say, 99.9% of us. Okay. Now, all that happening already, that's how we started that day. Then today, at 4:08 a.m., the moon transited to Sagittarius, adding more mutable energy to that of already having Virgo and Pisces at odds with each other. Now, this could really bring in a restlessness and a need for excitement and a need for something different and just make everything else go poof, because it's extremely mutable right now, meaning it's changeable, it's reactionary, it's going all over the place. Try to use this energy to explore something new, but keep it light, as Mercury retrograde and that opposition could hinder our thought processes and our learning capabilities right now. And remember that no matter what the transit, this too shall pass. And remember, these challenges can help us to become more patient, more compassionate, and more skillful in communications if we take our time to work through this on so many levels. And don't forget, we've got, that was a mouthful, a lot of information in one day. We've got the cackling, which is then tonight with Psychic Rose at 10 p.m. Eastern. So let's hope Mercury retrograde isn't messing up the technology, and y'all can go to her for the help you need to get through today. Okay. And that brings us to Friday. August 25th, 2023. So all of yesterday's transits are still in effect today, except for the conjunct between Mercury retrograde and Mars in Virgo. Now, this loss of this conjunct could exasperate the effects of the retrograde and the easy flow of thought from thought to action between Mercury to Mars will no longer be so strong. Okay. So not only do we have Mercury retrograde in that harsh opposition and the other things going on in the transits, but we have lost that easy flow with that trine or that as you were conjunct. Now, with that opposition between the Sun in Virgo and Saturn retrograde Pisces, we may feel really distracted and unfocused today. If you find yourself all miscombobulated, take some time to calm your mind and redirect your thought processes, whether it's a simple breathe or counting to 10 and starting over. Don't be afraid to step away from complicated tasks today. Thinking any responsibilities through thoroughly before making any new commitments is a must. Don't take on anything else that will fill your plate because you're not going to be able to meet those responsibilities and commitments with these particular transits. Nothing too new that you have to be responsible for, if at all possible. And tonight at 8 p.m., we've got Journey and Friends. And you guys always, that's always fun. And if you haven't been there, come check it out. There are several psychics on the show. There's fun, there's great questions, there's jokes, I can't even describe this show. If you need a break from all of today's grr and arg, come see that show and you will leave feeling much better. I am positive. All right, that brings us to August 26th, 2023, and that's a Saturday. Now, the only change in today's transits is that the moon will move into Capricorn at 9:06 a.m. Now, this will do wonders for alleviating the consistencies. Mercury retrograde, I cannot speak. This will do wonders for alleviating those inconsistencies and unpredictable tendencies of so much mutable energy that's been around us, and it can help give us some drive to move forward with more oomph and focus and drive. Just be careful not to get too pushy about things, especially in communications. Capricorn energy can come across as brisk or blunt, and with that opposition with Mercury being retrograde, miscommunications could run rampant today. So don't just blurt anything out. Don't try not to be so blunt that feelings could get hurt. All right. And while we have no shows today, don't worry, you're not left alone. We have some great, great, great content on YouTube only. So check out our YouTube channel. I know you're here. And make sure you check out all the different shows that we have available. We have daily shows, weekly shows. We even have a couple of monthly shows. So you don't have to be all by yourself. All right. That brings us to August 27th. That is a Sunday. All right, you guys. I know I'm probably blowing up your heads. The good thing is this is recorded and you can go back and listen again because this is so much information. I'm sorry. At 9:20 a.m. Eastern Time, Mars moves into Libra. Now, this will bring on a tendency to use our charm as a means um, to an end under influence of this cycle. So we're going to be more charming. We're going to be more wordy. Yeah, we're already wordy, right? So we'll be more open to many different sides of an issue, which is great. We can seem vacillating or indecisive about how to act with Mars and Libra. Mars in Libra doesn't want to be the bad guy and rarely resorts to force. That's a good thing. But this energy is an indirect approach, and it's inclined toward engaging in mental debates, yet also tries to make the opposition feel comfortable. Like if I'm debating with you or even arguing with you, I still want you to feel comfortable. I don't want you to feel like I'm attacking you. Instead of leaning on Mars's typical aggression, we're influenced by Libra's peacemaking abilities. The problem here is, and no, that's a great Mars, but this can come across as really passive aggressive because Mars's natural tendency is to do, and Libra's natural tendency is to pet and calm. So be on your guard and try to be straightforward in everything you do, but be kind about it. This is a hard mixture of energy to be able to take if you don't already have a Libra Mars in your own chart. We do still have that opposition from the Sun in Virgo to Saturn retrograde Pisces, tripping us up in communications and responsibilities, as well as that square between Venus retrograde Leo to Jupiter in Taurus, encouraging us to play more than work. We also get to revisit one of the aspects that we lost last week. So we had that beautiful trine between Mercury and Virgo to Jupiter and Taurus that opened up communications in a really big way. Now, because Mercury retrograded, we're revisiting that trine only with the retrograde. Now, this in this case, we our thoughts and our communications could be heavily skewed. So it really opens up our ability to speak, but be really careful about how you're speaking and make sure you're making sense. So all of the aspects in effect today are affected by retrograde. Um, I, while in see, while our opposition is incredibly challenging and our square is somewhat a pain in the butt, but mostly positive, and our trine is supposed to be an easy flow of energy and predominantly positive, Mercury, Venus, and Saturn being retrograde will slow all of those energies down a bit and turn them inward. When a planet is retrograde, its power does diminish, up, slowing us down and often tripping us up. This is a time for you, while those energies are slowed down, take the time to slow down yourself, reflect, then redefine our paths forward. Now, if you find that bad habits or inconsistencies are surfacing or resurfacing from the past, utilize this time to highlight what needs improvement so it no longer holds us back. If you find that you're repeating mistakes that you've already made and learned from, these retrogrades will weigh in heavily and you have something more to learn from those mistakes. All right. Wow. Okay. I hope that helps because that was a lot. And then we move on to Monday, August 28th, 2023. All of yesterday's aspects still apply. I am so sorry. However, the moon moves into Aquarius at 10:32 a.m. And that's going to give us an instinctive need for improvement. Okay. Now be sure you have all of your facts and figures in place and harness the energies of those three aspects that are in play to make sure you do not make the same mistakes again. Now, remember for yesterday, those mistakes resurfacing. Aquarius energy will focus and look at this logically. This is a great time with that intellectual, emotionally detached energies associated to the Aquarius moon. Look into making improvements logically. And then at 10:39 p.m. tonight, Uranus in Taurus retrogrades. Oh, I just want to say every single year, each of the planets in our solar system go into retrograde at one time or another. It's sometimes for months on end. Planets like Uranus or Neptune. So The sign it is in when it's retrograde is truly relevant because this does it's a constant thing. It always happens. So don't panic. Uranus retrograde happens every year for about 5 months. Now, under normal circumstances, Uranus, the planet moving direct, it brings surprises. And I only count Uranus if it's in like an exact degree with another planet, or if it's gone retrograde, I will bring that to your attention. But this is going to be a long term, slow building thing. So like I said, while it's direct, it brings surprises for the better or the worst. It could be good surprises, and it encourages innovation. So, when it aspects other planets in the sky or in your birth chart, it urges you to question the norm. It strengthens your capacity to embrace change. Uranus is a good thing because it helps us change. And without change, there is stagnation. Now, during the retrograde, instead of pushing for external or apparent things you can see or concrete change, you could be inspired to embrace rebellion and revolution on a more internal psychological way. We can change this is a really good time to rewire how we think in things that are holding us back. This offers everyone an opportunity to rethink larger life goals, like how are we going to look for a partner, because Venus rules Taurus. That's partnership. It's also, or as you were, Taurus. Yeah, Venus rules Taurus. So it's about love. Taurus is also about money and stability. So it's a really good way to rethink about how we want to pursue our long term professional goals. Some subjects could be related to our careers, our interpersonal relationships, romance, family, friends, personal goals, or even our constricted living conditions. Really, really good time. Even though it's retrograde, it's all that internal rewiring. Now, technology can be really, really crazy when this planet is stationing or retrograding because it's considered the higher octave of Mercury. It's it's very, very connected to Mercury, and both Mercury and Uranus being retrograde, we're going to experience a lot more glitches with electronics, devices, internet connections. We are going to see a lot of hiccups with our technology and with our ability to communicate. That I did say it would be a slow build, and Uranus will be retrograde for about 5.5 months. So that doesn't mean the whole time will be horrible, but our impulses and urges for this will be more noticeable during the time frame. The sudden shift in energies may take us a few days to get used to, but it's going to be okay. Right? It will be okay. And once Mercury goes direct, it won't be quite so bad because having Mercury and Uranus retrograde, I'm not real fond of that. It's going to be a little difficult, you guys, okay? This does bring us up to 6 retrogrades right now. Those are Mercury in Virgo, Venus in Leo, Saturn in Pisces, Pluto in Capricorn, Neptune in Pisces, and Uranus in Taurus. So, on that note, if you're really feeling the sudden what the hell, you guys be sure to come and see Kay, the intuitive empath, tonight at 10 p.m. She has always got her calm, cool, collected, and she can bring us back to earth and put us in the right direction. Be sure to be there. That's at 10 p.m. tonight, Eastern. Which brings us, I'm so out of breath. I'm like, ugh, to August 29th, Tuesday. And all I'm going to say is there are no changes today. Go back and see yesterday, the day before. No changes. Come see We Psychics 3 at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight, and I'm going to catch my breath. All right. And that brings us to Thursday, August 30th. The only change today, we still got all that crazy stuff going on. We are all going to be feeling it. So, the only change today is that the moon goes into Pisces at 9:57 a.m. And this can bring about a need to escape reality, especially with some of the harshness in this week's transits. If you need to take a break from reality, be sure to do so, but do so in a healthy and strength building way. Don't remove yourself so far or do harm to yourself in a, like just totally dissing your responsibilities or going off and doing something silly. Do it do it in a way that actually heals you. And if you need to take the day off, I encourage you to do so if you are able to do so. Take some downtime, do something fun, do something that you enjoy that will take your mind off of everything going on, and you'll be ready to come back in with optimism and clarity, because Pisces energy can be truly optimistic, but bringing in that mutability, more blah reaction, and that escapism that Pisces can tend to need. If you're able to take it, but healthily. Okay? I I know I said that again and again, but I'm really concerned here. So tonight we've got the Cackling Witch's Den with no, yes, the Cackling Witch's Den with Psychic Rose at 10 p.m. Eastern. I am so confused. And I hope that helped everybody. Remember, most of the time, the transits act on you personally because of our personal charts. But in this case, these transits are so heavy and so many of them happening that I do believe that it will affect most of us, 99% of us, in a very, very strong way. Use it to be healthy, use it to rethink, rewire, recreate positivity moving forward. And I will see y'all next week. Bye.
Now what's this